It's
There's so much more than I thought was in here.
well, I've got most of the buckets emptied. I've only got probably about 15 buckets left that are full of rock, Kenneth. See all the buckets that were full of rock?
I remember going out and collecting some of this.
Yes, we had fun, didn't we?
We did. What are the green crystals?
Where? Oh, that's fluorite. It fluoresces under black light.
I was there for a lot of the a lot of petrified wood. I don't.
Yeah. Are you gonna take these with you? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna take them. Okay. I thought you had them loose because I can use them up here. There's the big boulders down on the floor.
I remember doing Dugway. I was sad to hear that Glass Butte you can't get into anymore.
Yeah, they shut it down.
I remember Montana Moss.
All that.
I remember that trip. We were dragging that boat over all those sandbars.
And here's some more of it. All Montana Moss.
What is this?
Just a big chunk of salamoline. It's an iron ore. It turns everything jet black when you're cutting it. It doesn't wash off. You got to wear it off your hands. That's just
Dugway?
no.
Those aren't Dugway?
Richardson's.
That's Richardson's?
Yeah.
So these are Thunder Eggs?
Yeah. Dugways are bigger. You want to turn that on so your picture running?
I have video of it running.
Okay.
It is the only one on the internet right now. Lots of people ask questions about it. But the main question is, where do you get a gearbox like that? I don't know.
You know what that is?
That's a pump jack, right?
From the old, back in the 20s and 30s and teens for the farmers. There's big old windmills that are out in the farm. That's what that is. It's supposed to be running up and down. I turned it on its side.
What is the green? Danny will want to know. Copper or something?
Yeah, that's the copper ores. Copper ores.
Do you still have any of the fire opal?
Yeah, it's all the way back on the other side.
I remember you working that
It's behind you.
out at the ocean.
It's on the other side. It's on the other side as well.
I mean, so many of these places you can't even collect anymore.
It's got to be right in there. I think it's in that bucket there, I think. Maybe not.
That's okay. I was just trying.
Well, I got a great big hunk of it.
You needed even more shelves, huh?
Well, I got shelves. I got no way of hanging them, so we got tired of. See, here's another whole Montana moss that I haven't been emptied out yet. That's all out of Montana. I'm looking for a piece of jade that's long here that I thought maybe you'd like to take home for your nice green. Where the hell did that jade go to?
Well, you know, if this place ever floods again, at least now your floor is not going to float away.
My floor is not going to raise up and get me in trouble. It's flooded about 6 inches deep in here. Is it really? The whole thing. All of that around here.
Did you collect these?
Some of that, yeah, I collected some of that, and some of it is man-made. GE made a big cube of it. He took regular white quartz and melted it down and formed clear like that. And they use those for the windows in the space shuttle because it'll handle the heat coming back into the. That's man-grown. That's a slice of
So that's just optical quartz?
Yeah.
There were some neat trips.
Yeah. See, some of those geodes in front of your head there, they came from New Mexico. Not Dugway. Dugways are all bigger than that. And I'm kind of in here someplace. I've seen them, but I'm not sure. Maybe they're out here on the front edge. I don't know where they're at. Tell you the truth, Kenneth. Well, I got a pail or more of them in here somewhere that I have emptied.
I know we have a pail in my house too.
Yeah. These are the big slabs.
On your first cut on that thing.
Pardon?
You feel like you get about a third of the way on your first cut, on your very first cut. Yeah.
Oh, on that rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I moved to another, and then I moved to another spot.
You do have big petrified wood.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
like,
they're
get a
something
foot
like that,
for comparison.
Yeah. And the one on the other side of it, and then this one underneath this bag. Underneath these two bags, I should say.
Yeah, because that was particularly crack-free specimen, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and you can see where limbs were in it, and they like were knots, and they filled in with something else as they rotted away. A little bit different in the thing.
That would sure be a neat slice.
I intended to someday get and this one here is one that I've already sliced that. It's still got the block of wood on the back side of it. There's the heart of the wood right there in the center. I spent a lot of fun time out here. I'd like to do more, but Helen starts complaining when I'm gone by myself. She said, "Damn worried I'm going to die out here." And I might someday, if I'm lucky.
I had no idea it was.
This intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember the piles of buckets.
Yeah.
And there were piles.
Buckets and buckets.
This really worked out good for me. Trouble is, I'm so damn old, but I still come out here once in a while and sort through it and pick out a nice one, take home and cut it. I got a tumbler going with a couple, 3 chunks of Mozarkite, Missouri State stone.
Now, are these ones that you cut with the drag saw?
That's the one you just saw a picture of.
Oh, okay.
No, I cut that with my table saw at home, and then what I do is I use my skill saw with a carbide blade to finish it, because I couldn't cut all the way through it. And I was intending to someday polish these out. And that tumbler that Ron made isn't quite big enough for these to go into.
Would they just shatter in the tumbler?
They won't fit in it. They're too big to go in there unless I cut them. And I'm going to figure out how I can cut them to make them work. Because I want them polished real bad. And I'm going to have to take and cut off a corner or something like this to be able to see most of it. Look at the color of that.
Neat.
And
But will it just break into pieces in the tumbler?
it will if I put it in just to let it tumble. When it just slides past each other like this, it'll polish. But it's all been glued together. It's been heated in the oven and glued, so it will still probably crack if it tumbles too fast or too hard. But see, this thing here is supposed to take care of that.
This is a surfacer?
Yeah. This basically.
And it just vibrates that pad?
No, it just spins. But you got to hang on to it. You can't. You got to stand here and work it. Starting to rust in the spot. So you adjust the elevation, and you just keep going back and forth over there. I think I got screws in there. Yeah, I do.
Oh, to hold them steady?
Well, to keep them from slipping underneath this thing here, spinning all the time. And you put water in here and open the drip and let it just drip right down on what it drips right into here through this pipe. and it just grinds away.
Now, what was this machine originally for?
That's what this is for. This is originally built for this. Those big marble slabs you see on countertops are
Okay.
made with this type of machine, only they're usually bigger than this one. This is a small one for the small stuff like this.
I wondered if it was like a granite countertop sort of machine.
This would be for a little bit small for a granite, but they make exactly the same thing that will reach out to 12 and 15 foot and have heads that are like 18 to 24 inches in diameter on them. Marble outfit would handle that.
Because this is new. I don't know if you had this, or if you had it, it wasn't set up.
I know. I just got it set up recently, and someday your dad. I give your dad the other one. I paid I think $100 for this thing, and I could get probably $1,000 for it without even batting an eyebrow. Because there's people that would be maybe even more than that.
Now that you fix it up.
No, it was all fixed up before. I just didn't never. Well, I bought a table. I had this tray built for it, so it don't make splashes all over everything. But it came with this whole setup here. I paid $100 for it, as you see it. And then your mother has been able to find these grinders, diamond wheels, coarse and fine. And your dad made me a holder that would fit to some of them.
Oh, so you can cut faster without so much grit?
Well, I don't have to mess with grit. It's just grinding with water and diamond. It is nowhere near the mess. You see, I was playing around here with something, and these are all that were in here before are all at home in my tumbler right now. It's going in that big tumbler that Ron built for me. Your dad did. I'm going to come out with some awful nice, and you're going to get some of those slabs when they're going to blow you away when you see them.
Oh, really? What are they?
Wood and marble. Most of it's wood, and it's also Brazilian agate. I bought some big Brazilian agates, 100 pounders, and I've cut them all up. That's what all it is.
Do you have a favorite one?
Oh, they're all at the house.
They're all at the house?
I don't want to leave any of my favorites out here. I couldn't trust them. This is pretty close to a favorite also. Is this piece of opal, because this is a whole big plate of pink opal.
Wow. And is there fire in that?
Yeah, that's got fire in it. Just the top level. You got to put water on to see it. I don't know if you can see it along the edge or not, but I won't cut it. It's just.
Oh, there, yeah. At least I caught it.
Yeah, it fires every once in a while. You know what? I think I'm going to have to go out here in the bushes, because I'll call Mother Nature and I'll never make it home before I'll have to crap.